And his effort on defense and his second chance opportunities that he continuously gives us is great. But if you are a liability on the other end of the court to the point where basically the other team can play 5-on-4, that just is a recipe for disaster.
You know, another person I definitely want to talk about, and I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. I like what I saw today in a big spot. Sabin Lee. Like, I thought Sabin gave us good minutes. I thought he played hard. He wasn't terrific. Not going to jump off the box score. But I think he's starting to make a case, and you got to be proud of a guy. He's getting an opportunity, and I still believe the Suns are trying to get another point guard in here. But I think he's taking advantage of his audition. And I think the Suns are saying, hey, if you want to be the guy, you got to come out in these moments and do it. His hands were all over the place. He helped on the glass a lot. He affected the game defensively. And he hit that big corner three. Mm-hmm. And it's just one. But the ability to have the heart to take it, and then we talked about it, he had just missed one. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes you go into that shell and you're like, I don't want to miss another one. He didn't hesitate. Got the ball, bang, knocked it down. It was a big shot in the game. And so shout out to Sabin, man. He's doing a good job of giving himself a shot to stay on.
I think that was his first three of the season.
Yeah, it was. One for 10 now.
Yeah, he doesn't play a lot.
Yeah, but I will say this about Sabin Lee and then even Josh Okogie. You can see when teams see that those two guys specifically are on the court, they strategize to leave them open in those corners. And you saw multiple times tonight, Josh Okogie did not handle that well at all.
Nope.
And that's why he got yanked real quick.
Never played.
And he didn't play for the rest of the game.
That's
like,
right.
You got to come through. And, you know, I love Josh Okogie just as much as everybody else does. And his effort on defense and his second chance opportunities that he continuously gives us is great. But if you are a liability on the other end of the court to the point where basically the other team can play 5-on-4, that just is a recipe for disaster. And J.O.'s going to have to find it if he wants to play anytime soon, especially as we get to the playoffs, because you know how that rotation is going to shrink down. Yeah. And he won't be a part of it if he can't do this, because you have other guys now that are giving you opportunities at second chance points. Royce O'Neal. Thad Young will give you that opportunity. You saw that the other night against Houston. Bol. Yeah. Like, so you don't necessarily need J.O. and his enthusiasm on defense if you have other guys that can really supply what you need on the offensive side to a certain degree to keep them honest, keep the opposition honest.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we may have seen the last of Josh Okogie in the rotation today, because he's out there tonight because of necessity with EG and Beal out. If Sabin's going to continue to get opportunity, where do the minutes come? You know, if Thad's a part of this, where do the minutes come from for J.O. once those guys are back? I'm not sure they are there at this point. Yeah. He's got one of the worst case of the yips. He looks like Chuck Knobloch. There's a reference for you, Flex. Yeah. A guy that has no confidence and just is not equipped to be out there and be in that situation.
Okay. This 18 to 34 demo does not know who Chuck Knobloch is.
Can I also just real quick, while I agree entirely with you guys, his teammates don't often set him up for success either, because especially we saw tonight at one point when KD was getting doubled, it was J.O.'s man, right? He gets the ball, but it's when the shot clock is like about to expire.
Not every time.
And so you're I'm not saying every time, but there are occasions where you can't put the full amount of blame on J.O. either, because he's not set up for success.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just saying,
no, that's fair. That's fair. Every once in a while that happens. But then there's the times where he's got enough time to go get a cheeseburger and a coffee and say hi to some fans and then shoot, and he just doesn't take advantage of it. And here's the one point. Saul mentioned this right dead smack in the middle of the game. It has now progressed beyond the three-point line. Okay, there was a play where he had right to the lane, and I mean, he's 3 feet from the rim, and he decided to kick out to the corner, and that gave me Ben Simmons vibes.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa, buddy. you have completely lost all faith in your ability to score the basketball. And so that's a big problem for me. And he's got to get out of his own, because I love Josh. I think he can bring a lot to this basketball team. But if that's the non-starter, if you're not going to shoot the basketball,
I love everybody in the chat like, Lindsay, you just got to bail from the Josh Okogie train. I'm sorry.
She's trying so hard.
Liz, you should be his agent, probably.
You guys
do
are
a great job.
But
He played 5 minutes, had 7 wide open shots, and took 0 of them. He had 0 shots. He had zeros across the board except for 1 assist and 1 turnover. Yeah. Zeros.
Yeah, not so good.